The 2003 box office dud and critically panned kids movie, The Cat in the Hat, is fucking hilarious. To give a brief rundown of the film, two kids, one a control freak and the other a troublemaker, are left alone with a racial stereotype of a babysitter for the evening.
Taiwanese parliament.
You tell them, Guaijiang. No more big government.
They don't get along well with each other or their unreasonably attractive mom.
Humana, 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 humana. Who is this? Oh.
That's my mom.
Awkward.
Or her douchebag boyfriend, played by Alec Baldwin.
I see. Okay, that's great. Look, pal, be a sport, and why don't you go and tidy up the living room, okay? Dude.
Of course, eventually Mike Myers in a giant fursuit shows up and all hell breaks loose.
Look, I'm a cat that can talk. That should be enough for you people. I don't even know what's going on.
But I don't really care about the bare bones plot or about how the kids learn to work together, love their mom, or get rid of her dipshit boyfriend. What I want to talk about is the almost absurd, nihilistic, adult, fucked up humor this movie has. For a bit of background knowledge, growing up as a kid, my sister and I would watch this movie all the time. Our family had one of those vans with the built-in VCRs, and we just stare at this built-in low-resolution little TV and laugh our asses off at this shit. There are such adult and just serious jokes in this movie that my mom would inadvertently turn it off sometimes and put in something else. My sister and I still to this day recite lines from it. I recently asked my mom about the movie and she still does hate it, just like most people do, I guess. I mean, the movie is an upfront bastardization of the beloved children's novel. It's not like the animated films that came out afterwards were any good either. What I didn't connect previously is that there was almost like a cinematic universe of mean-spirited, live-action adaptations of Seuss books. The Grinch came out before this one, and it seems that the trend was to adapt these novels and inject dark adult humor using a famous comedian at the time. Jim Carrey was the Grinch, and now Mike Myers is the cat. Stick those guys in a giant fursuit, and bam, you got a pound of nostalgia for most teenagers these days. The difference between those two films, of course, is that one was accepted and the other was almost religiously rejected. But the obvious reasoning for this being that The Cat in the Hat was loads more disrespectful and just straight up raunchier and weirder than the Grinch. Nevertheless, to get straight to the point, this movie is beat for beat modern-day absurdist meme humor, much like many of the adult jokes in The Grinch that make me laugh far more than they did when I was a kid.
6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
The Cat in the Hat is non-stop, classic, absurd Mike Myers riffing. It is offensive, it is sometimes a little racy.
She was gonna wear that tonight and you ruined it.
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it. Yeah.
And it's also not kid-friendly for the most part.
It was my pleasure, Sally. Anything for my little princess?
Oh, I don't want to be a princess. In a constitutional monarchy, Parliament has all the real power.
I see. Okay, that's great.
And that's why this movie is such a good fucking time to watch nowadays. According to some rumors spread by the members of the crew, when this was being made, Myers kind of took full creative control over scenes. According to these people, he kind of ran the show and took over as director, and he even told actors how to say their lines and stuff like that. I think that's obviously what happened because there's almost not a second that goes by in the film that isn't just absurd, weird humor once the cat shows up.
Zinga!
One of my favorite scenes that I remember every line in is the Cupcake-inator scene, and it's a perfect representation of how most of the film goes. The cat asks the kids what they want to do for fun, and Sally says she wants to make cupcakes, to which Mike Myers responds,
Cupcakes? Oh yeah!
We then begin a scene ripped straight from Saturday Night Live, where Myers mimics cooking and talk show hosts, as well as the outlandish guests they often showcase. After the host gets on Myers' nerves, he makes death threats several times.
Anything.
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 I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
That's impossible.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
Now wait just a minute.
And you're ugly, just like your mum.
Did you just call my mother ugly?
Shut up! I mean it. I will end you.
Resulting in him cutting off his own tail. This stuff is just so absurd and so not kid-friendly. I can't help but lose my shit every time I see it.
Cat. Your tail.
What about it? Oh, I see. I've chopped it off. Well, that's interesting because... Son of a bitch!
I think what mostly works about almost all the comedy in this film for me is the fact that not only did they spend $100 million on this movie, but Myers also got away with injecting all this adult humor into a beloved children's book adaptation. I mean, there's even 2 small dick jokes in the film I never caught till I watched it just now.
But learned you can have fun. But that's his more.
There we go. It's oversized. That's unusual.
A few more examples that I can think of this movie just accurately portraying absurd meme culture would be when the cat poses as a piñata trying to hide in plain sight, and he gets smacked right in the fucking balls.
This cannot end well.
I mean, why the fuck is there a unicorn in the background? Why is he wearing a dress? Is this supposed to symbolize him becoming girly because he just lost his fucking balls? Speaking of which, they do have a spade and neuter joke beforehand.
Turn it over. This is nothing.
I can't tell you how much I want to know the creative process that went behind writing and coming up with this scene. Let's also mention how most of the cat's humor in the film has to do with killing and or seriously harming things or people.
Shut up! I mean it. I will end you.
All right, Nevins. Time to die.
Cat, you scared him away!
All right, soldier, our bogey is in range. Commence search and destroy.
What?
Search and rescue. I meant search and rescue. Come on.
Buckle up, kids. We're on a mission to get that dog, and we will not rest until we find it and destroy it.
Rescue it!
Rescue it, of course I meant. I'll get you, and it'll look like a bloody accident.
There is a third option.
There is?
Yes, it involves murder.
That's your option?
There's only one scene in this entire movie that I don't enjoy, and it's when the cat and the kids are running away from Alec Baldwin's character, and they go down some sort of advertisement booth into a full-on Cat in the Hat themed sex rave looking place. This is where I think Myers might have had maybe too much creative control for his own good, because to me, this looks like it's right out of an Austin Powers movie. In every Austin Powers movie, there's at least one scene where Mike Myers just dances with a bunch of hot people. Paris Hilton even shows up in this scene to, like, sexually glance at him. To me, this is just kind of gross. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole fucking movie is hilariously messed up, but this is one scene where I kind of get where it doesn't really appeal to anybody. There's a compilation of deleted scenes on YouTube, and some of them are so fucked up, I can see why they didn't make the cut of the film. One that did make me laugh very hard. Legit has a shot of the cat looking at a fold-out porno of the fucking mother of the kids of the movie. Now, they just added Cat in the Hat on Netflix, and there's still tons of jokes I didn't spoil in this video. If you've never seen it, or maybe you saw it once as a kid, I definitely recommend checking it out. It moves at such a fast pace and doesn't drag at all. And to get more analytical, the kid actors are actually pretty fucking good, especially the boy, played by Spencer Breslin. The sets and everything look great too, because, you know, they spent $100 million fucking dollars on this thing. The only gripe I have is that one short dance scene. And I guess the things aren't that funny either, but if you're looking for absurd humor and almost non-stop laughs at just how insane the movie is, check this one out. And it's even better with friends.